I was never that good at maths at school, yet later would amuse my friends with displays of rapid calculation. I asked Joe Wiley, one of the most famous voices in British radio, to join me at the Ironmongers Hall in the City of London. So many performers do talk about, if not being bullied as kids, but certainly not having a difficult time at school. Was that appropriate for you at all? Or?
No, not really.
No? Always popular?
No, not particularly, no. But I wasn't bullied. I was just fairly quiet.
Okay,
that's all
right. In my primary school that I went to, it was quite a weird old place. There was quite a nasty guy called Gary. I can't really say his full... Well, it was Gary Payne, actually.
Yeah, good.
P-A-Y-N-E.
I'll get him for you later.
Yeah, if you would. And what he used to do repeatedly was to tip up, if I had a bag, he'd tip the stuff on the floor, I'd throw my books on the floor, whatever, and then give me a good kicking. And what I learnt to do, in order to sort of distract myself from the sort of pain that was going on, as it were, being kicked and so on, was to count, the things that had fallen out of my bag, or if like a book had fallen open, to try and memorise the words or count the letters in the words on the page, or once like a box of pencil sharpenings was sort of fallen out, and I'd sort of count them and add them all up, and this was my way of sort of distracting myself from what's going on. And bizarrely, ended up with a lot of skills from that, which just go back to some unpleasant moron at school.
I didn't realise you were so scarred.
A little bit. I'd like to demonstrate some of this stuff to you. All right, so you brought a book with you.
I did, yeah.
And this is the book you're currently reading?
Just finished it.
You just finished it, excellent.
Yeah.
Can I just see what it is?
Zoe Helen, Notes on a Scandal.
Notes on a Scandal, all right.
Yeah.
For the record, you haven't been showing me that book.
No.
I haven't had a chance to look through it.
No.
And I'm going to ask you in a moment to open it up to a page and show me a page. And again, I haven't told you, I'll just open it up to this page. It's a completely free choice.
Absolutely.
Okay. So just hold it up like that. Just turn it around and show me.
Okay.
All right, from the top. All our money and wads of £5 notes in the biscuit tin. The thing is, Sheba is scared of money because she's never learned how it works. As he went on, I found myself distracted by Sheila's voice wafting in from the next room. No, look, she was saying in an agitated tone. I'm just sure you've got this wrong. Right, no, I understand, but isn't that rather an extreme measure? Richard Smuff.
Yowza.
All right. Turn the book round, don't lose your page.
No.
So up to the word measure, which is sort of roughly where I got to, which was on the end of the last word on the 8th line.
Yep.
If you counted up all the letters that I'd read through, to take you up to that word would be 296. Will you please just count through all the letters? Tell me how many letters there are. Go for it.
Fine.
There's a pencil if you want to.
Thank you. I think you might be right.
You've done it. How many is it?
I have.
You've done it?
296.
296?
Yeah.
That's definitely right, 296. Thank you. Let's try one more thing. If you pop the book down, if you don't mind, and the pad and everything on the floor for a second. I'm going to give you a tray. There's a couple of cloths which I'll give you in a minute. If you could take that for me.
Yep.
And I'll ask you to stand up as well.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to turn around the other way, but there's a bowl on the table with a couple of hundred buttons in it. Yep. While my back's turned, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a whole load of buttons, a few handfuls of buttons, put them on the tray. Make sure it's a very large number of buttons, and then I'm going to give you a cloth just to cover them up with. But if you do that now, I will face this way so I can't see.
Okay.
Done that?
Yep.
Okay, I want you to put that cloth over the tray so that I can't see how many are there. Have you done that?
Yeah.
Okay, and can I give you that one? I'd like you to put that over the bowl so that if I looked at the bowl, I couldn't tell even how many were left.
Okay. Yep, it's done.
Just make sure the tray's covered, yes?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Hold that in your left hand for me.
Okay.
All right, and slap me.
Really? Can I?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
God, so long.
Harder than that. Like I've really upset you.
No, I
like
don't
I've really
wanna
upset
hurt
you. Hard. Go. Again, harder. Ah, one more. Go hard. Ah. Take it off.
Okay.
49.
49?
Yes, 49.
Right,
Sit down for me.
Count again.
That was hard.
Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 18, 20, 22, 30, 32, 42, 44, 46, 48, 49. Bingo. Congratulations, well done. Now can I slap you again?
No.
God, he must have had some bullying in the past. I've always thought that Derren was quite kinky, and just the things that he asked me to do today with the slapping and everything just kind of confirms that. The other thing with the buttons trick that was quite incredible was the speed at which he did it. Just knew down to the very, very button how many were there. When I was doing the book thing and reading out the number of letters, I was thinking, oh, please let it be wrong, please let it be wrong. Oh, no, he's right. And I was quite dumbfounded that he could actually, work it out. It was 296 letters in that little paragraph. Freak. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
We all get stuck in our belief systems, however sensible we think they are. To me, the New Age community is particularly guilty of not testing or challenging what it claims. And it was with this in mind that I invited a young woman to Epping Forest.
Just here?
Yeah. This is really nice here, isn't it?
Lovely.
Can I talk to you a bit about what your beliefs are in terms of spirituality? With something like Reiki or psychic healing or crystal healing, if you don't think it's just a question of you sort of buy into it and believe in it and then it sort of works because you're expecting to, if you think it genuinely is more than that, how do you sort of grasp that?
I've experienced crystal healing. I've experienced Reiki, which is using universal energy, which probably a lot of people would be very skeptical to believe in, and but I'm basing my beliefs in facts, and things that I have seen, how they've created a progress in my life or how things have shifted. I've seen this the results,
Mm-hmm. There is something I'd like to try with you, and this is why I got you here specifically to talk about belief. And it uses an area of belief that, I don't know, maybe is less fashionable than some of the beliefs that have been adopted in our culture now as mainstream religion seems to be dying out. Would you stand up for me for a second?
Sure.
And just come around there, and just like that, just there for me. That's great. And take your hand, and just rest that there. Excellent. That's great. You can just stay like that for a while I show you what this is. I'm going to show you something involving this, which is a doll. But the thing about this doll is that it doesn't, as it is, it doesn't have a soul. So we need to give it a soul for this to work. And that's what I'm going to do now by taking this. You happy if I use your ring for a second? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Just allow that to sort of go floppy down there. That's great. Thank you. And the ring goes into the centre here, and this makes it a soul for the doll. Just like that. Now it has a soul, and your soul, if you like. Stay there for a second for me. See, I just think it's interesting, for me, that we tend to believe what makes us feel good. If we decide that something is nice or makes us feel nice, that we decide that it's true, which, you could argue devalues the idea of truth terribly. Can you feel anything at the moment? What are you aware of?
My legs feel really heavy.
Can you move them? Can you move your feet? No?
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's interesting. You see? You can't move them. You can move your arms, yes?
Yeah.
Just flap your arms a bit for me. Just do that. Thank you. Just so you can see you can move them for a moment. And then watch. What happens now? Can you move your arms?
No.
You trying?
Yeah.
Okay, now look at me. This will be perfectly comfortable, all right? There's nothing unpleasant about this, perfectly comfortable. I want you to count. Just try and count all the way backwards from 10 to 0 for me, out loud.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Let that close. Can you talk? See, for me, it's all about questioning, I think, and not taking things at face value. Like at the moment you can't speak, but the only reason why you can't speak is that you believe that you can't speak because of what I'm telling you. And the interesting thing is that if I tell you you can speak, all that does is give you permission to question that belief, and then you find that you can speak. Can't you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what we believe isn't necessarily real at any level. I mean, this certainly isn't, it's not even a real voodoo doll. You know, and even the real voodoo dolls were used for healing, not for putting curses on people. But what I did, I got you to invest in that belief, and one of the ways I got you to do that was by investing something of yourself in it, like your ring. Whereas in fact, there's nothing in there. There is no ring in there. I didn't put your ring in there. You know, your ring's still on your hand. Yeah?
How did that happen?
You alright?
I did see him taking the ring and putting it into the doll. I can't explain it. He asked me to start counting and I just couldn't open. I couldn't communicate. I just felt my feet and my legs become very, very heavy. As if they would just blend in with the ground, basically. It was a really bizarre feeling. When I actually looked down and I saw my ring on my finger, I could not believe it. And I still can't believe it right now. I don't know how that's happened. I feel really weird right now, actually. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight.
If you'd like to have a seat, Jane.
Okay.
Jonathan. Thank you. Thank you both very much indeed. Before we start, it's very important you have a playing card in your mind, all right? So I want this to be a free choice. So colour-wise, you've got red or black. So which would you rather have?
Red.
Red, which is diamonds and hearts. Any preferred suit out of those two?
Hearts.
Hearts, okay. And number-wise, so you've got between 1 and 10. But not 3 because there are 3 of us, but a number?
7.
7, okay, so 7 of hearts, all right? You happy to
Yeah.
have that card in your mind as we do it?
Yeah.
Happy that was a free choice?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Jonathan as well, if you can think of the 7 of hearts as well for me. Excellent. You've got a deck of cards in front of you. Now, you'll notice I've been delightful enough to put these into new deck order so you can see that they're all there. Do have a look and check that they are indeed all present. Happy with that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd like you to gather up the cards for me and take them under the table and to shuffle them under the table as best as you can without dropping any. Please bear in mind, at no point during this am I going to touch those cards. All right? Those will now remain in your hands throughout all of this. Okay, great. While you do that, and feel free to stop whenever you like, I'm going to tell you 3 stories. 3 stories of coincidence. I promise you these are absolutely real. As far as I know, these stories did happen. Also, let me ask you, how long have you two been together for?
72 years.
I think it's about 18 years.
Is it 18 years?
Yeah.
It is that long?
I'm doing it dog years.
The reason why I ask is that these stories also tie in with the idea of relationships and what goes on between people, all right? The first tale of coincidence, the first one of the 3, this was told to me by my flatmate, Stephen, who I live with in Bristol. And he'd been going out with a girl called Marie, and they were sitting on this park bench at a place called Brandon Hill in Bristol, looking up at a very starry sky. Marie said that she'd never seen a shooting star. So Stephen's like, well, we should wish for one, and they do. They're mucking around, but they wish for it out loud. And no sooner were those words out their mouth, but a big shooting star shot across the sky. And, you know, they're dumbfounded. And, you know, Stephen comes back and tells me this story, and he's almost in tears. And you think on the one hand, oh, that's amazing, and you love it, but on the, you're sort of also thinking in the back of your mind, well, yes, but aren't there shooting stars every 10 minutes, and you don't normally notice them? But you kind of don't want to say, well, it's just a coincidence, because it's coincidences like that that can absolutely make people fall in love that you could base a 10-year relationship on. I don't think for them it was. I think maybe he went down on her that night, but I don't think they ever saw each other again. But it's a lovely story. You've got the cards under the table. I'd like you to please reach in and pull out a card, turn it around, and put it back in so it goes in the wrong way. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So all the others are face up and one's going back in face down. Does that make sense? Have you done that?
Yeah.
Great, and then give them another little mix for me. The second story of coincidence This is more amazing. It's absolutely true. Again, this was a guy who worked for a car repair service that we can't name, who was out in the middle of the night, and this is in the middle of nowhere, all right, fixes the car that he has to deal with, and is then walking back to his van. The car is now driven off, and he walks past a phone box, and the phone starts ringing in the box. So he's in the middle of nowhere, he goes in and answers it and picks it up, and it's his wife. And she's saying, oh, can you remember to pick up some bread and some milk on the way home? And he says, well, yeah, okay, but how did you know to ring this number? And she says, no, I just rang your new mobile number. And he's like, no, you just rang a phone box in the middle of nowhere. And she says, no, I called. And she gets this bit of paper. And she realises she hasn't called his mobile number. What she's done, weirdly, she's got his payroll number written down, and she's called that number instead of his mobile number. And his payroll number just happened to be the number of a phone box, which also happened to be the same phone box he happened to be walking past at that time. It's amazing. And it really is difficult to dismiss that just as a coincidence, because it's easier somehow to believe, emotionally certainly, that people in some sort of relationship, when they're in love or together, maybe some communication goes on between them, which the rest of us don't get in on somehow. All right. So you've got the cards under the table. You've got one card around the wrong way. Yep, one card around the wrong way. Please do give them another little mix so you know they're all shuffled. The third tale of coincidence, I'm not going to tell you, but I'm hoping that you'll be telling everybody this story tomorrow. The card that you've both been thinking of, it was the...
Seven of Hearts.
The Seven of Hearts, was that right?
7 of Hearts it was, yeah.
We'll just bring the cards out from underneath, put them face up on the table. And if you just face up, that's right. Just, I don't want to touch them, just spread them out. You should each have a card face down. Just give them a good spread. Do you want to just find that card?
Oh, there it is. Yep.
And if you just want to move that forward and move that forward for me.
Oh, that's mine.
Excellent. You want to turn that one over, Jane?
Sure.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Big moment. Come on.
No.
Through love, you and me.
No. That's extraordinary.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh,
A pleasure.
Wow, fantastic.
I'm so startled. I could not begin to imagine, and I can only assume that Derren has some sort of
Because
special
normally the
powers.
card is forced on you in some way. When people,
Yeah.
they hold out the cards. I don't know how they do even that, but you know they force it on you in some way.
The fact that the deck of cards never left my hands.
Never
under
left the table, then under her hands. I don't know how he did it. I'm amazed.
I don't understand.
When I had to turn my card over, I still, up until the moment when I turned it, still didn't think it would be the Seven of Hearts. I kind of knew it probably would be, because I know how good Derren is. I don't know how he does it, but at the same time, every logical fibre of my being was saying it cannot possibly be the Seven of Hearts because you shuffled them.
And the fact that we both completely had free will in turning in the card that we turned over, and
you chose via free will. Probably a microchip in it. Yes, that's how he does it. It's covered in honey.
Imagine if instead of trying to work out what your complicated friends want for their birthdays, you could just go out and get whatever you like and then convince them that that's what they want. Life would be so much easier. And if you come and take a seat just over here, that'd be great. Just there.
Just here.
Thank you very much. Excellent. So, we spoke on the phone a few days ago.
Yes.
And I asked you to write down something you'd like for your birthday.
Yes.
I also asked you to sign the back of it when I spoke to you and gave you these instructions, so that basically when you brought it with you today, which I hope you have done, you know that no one's going to steam it open or switch it or do anything with it.
Absolutely.
All kept secret?
Very much so.
Excellent. All right. Well, I have bought you a present. Now, don't get overexcited. It is in the big box behind you.
Right.
Right? It may be a small present in a big box.
Right.
Or it may be a big present in a big box.
Okay.
The size of the box will not necessarily give you any clues.
Sure.
All right. When you walk into a shop and you see something that you know you have to have, what is that feeling like? Describe it for me.
I guess it's quite sort of sudden, and you sort of you have a definite positivity about it, and often you'll go away and see other things, but then you come back to the thing you saw first, and
Excellent.
it's like, you know.
Well, just take that feeling and just sort of amplify it a bit for me, because it is a really good feeling. It's important to understand that feeling of positivity that you describe. Okay. And also, very nice to meet you, and thank you for coming on the show. Let me explain to you how I buy gifts or presents for people, all right? And this is the best way to handle, bar none, the problem of, what to settle for when you're going to buy gifts for somebody that's a little bit difficult to buy for, all right? Now, what I do is rather than recycle the same sort of two tired bottles of wine or box of chocolates, which are no fun to receive, I go out and I buy anything, and then I make that person fall in love with it, all right, by creating a strong feeling of desire for that object. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah? And it absolutely works. They get all sort of pumped up, they get that feeling of that positivity you were describing. They beam excitement for it. It's a win-win thing because they get a present that they love and, I get rid of some stuff out the back of my kitchen cupboard or whatever. But what I want you to really understand about this, because it's important, is that feeling is so strong, can be so extreme that it can replace the memory of what they actually wanted. So even though 2 days before they may have said, I want X, whatever that is, like a really nice car, like a BM or an Xbox or something like that, something they really wanted, suddenly now they think they always wanted what I got them. And they're like, well, why would I want another car or an Xbox? That'd be useless to me. And suddenly this thing is useless to them because they're so delighted and surprised by what I got them that they forget what they originally wanted. Does that make sense? It actually replaces that memory.
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent, cool. Good, so you can have anything you like. What's your dream present?
The BMX bike.
A BMX bike?
Yes.
That'd be fantastic. And that would make you feel great, wouldn't it?
It would fulfill a childhood dream.
Really? Is it a childhood dream to have one?
I never got one when I was a kid.
You never got one when you were a kid, so it'd be great to have one. Okay. Do you want to have a look?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. Come and have a look. You ready?
Yes.
What colour BMX? What did you have in mind?
Red.
Red?
Yeah.
Have a look. You want to grab that?
Good, nice and light.
Yeah. Let's just put it over here. Sort of thing you had in mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this really a childhood dream to have one?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you got all red.
I'm just amazed. I was just slightly odd.
I'm delighted. Well, happy birthday. I hope it's.
Thank you very much.
I don't know a lot about bikes, so I hope it's the right sort. And out of interest, what did you write?
I've got it with me if I still.
And what did you?
I
What did
wrote
you
a
write?
BMX bike, is what I wrote.
So when you came in here, you wanting a BMX bike? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's probably not the case. If you can detach yourself from what's happened here a little bit, was it really a BMX bike you wanted when you came in?
That's what I'd written down, yeah.
You may have done, but that's very unlikely. Are you sure? If you think back, are you sure you're right? BMX bike is what you want. That absolutely feels right, doesn't it, when you think about what you want?
Yeah, absolutely, because that's what I wrote down, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm so flabbergasted that it's there.
Take it out, have a look. No one's touched this, have they? Where's it been? Where's it been since you wrote it?
It's been in my wallet.
In your wallet. Go on, have a look.
No, even. I'm shaking.
Let's just have a look at the back. You signed your name across it.
That's right, signed.
This is the date and the time.
It was 1:10 on Saturday.
10+1 last Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. But genuinely, you haven't. No one's touched this since you wrote it.
No, because I signed it over here, so you couldn't do it.
Let's just have a look. What's it say?
Leather jacket.
Leather jacket. Did you want leather jacket?
No, I wanted to be a Max.
So why did you write leather jacket?
I didn't.
You didn't write leather jacket. That's your handwriting.
That's
isn't
my
it?
handwriting as well.
This is what you want.
This
yeah?
is what I want, yeah.
All right. Any idea why you wrote that?
No.
That gives you that feeling of
Yes.
spontaneous positivity. That. Yes? Not
Yes.
this. You don't want that.
No.
That's useless to you.
Absolutely.
So you're happy with your present? As am I. Congratulations and happy birthday again. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Oh my God. I'm genuinely a bit freaked out, in a nice way. I came in here thinking, if I can suss this out, if there's some kind of thing going on that I can work out logically, I'm just going to do it, and I'm not going to be an arse about it. I'm going to play along, and but I'm stunned. That's definitely my right, and that's my J, and I've got no need for a leather jacket, and I don't know what's going on. What's my name? He's going to have me in a pickle jar by 2. I know it.
So if you found yourself wanting a BMX too, this is probably why. Very nice to meet you and thank you for coming on the show. Let me explain to you how I buy gifts or presents for people, all right? And this is the best way to handle, bar none, the problem of, what to settle for when you're going to buy gifts for somebody that's a little bit difficult to buy for, all right? Now, what I do is rather than recycle the same sort of two tired bottles of wine or box of chocolates, which are no fun to receive, I go out and I buy anything, and then I make that person fall in love with it, all right, by creating a strong feeling of desire for that object. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? And it absolutely works. They get all sort of pumped up, you know, they get that feeling of that positivity you were describing, they beam excitement for it. And, you know, it's a win-win thing, because they get a present that they love, and, you know, I get rid of some stuff out the back of my kitchen cupboard or whatever. But what I want you to really understand about this is that that feeling is so strong, can be so extreme, that it can replace the memory of what they actually wanted. So even though 2 days before they may have said, I want X, whatever that is, you know, like a really nice car, like a BM or an Xbox or something like that, something they really wanted, suddenly now they think they always wanted what I got them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Excellent, cool. Good, so, you can have anything you like. What's your dream present?
The BMX bike.